Barcelona's biggest revolution in the summer transfer window. Barcelona's board have placed 9 signings on the negotiating table, including centre-backs, a midfielder, a right-back, a left-back, and a striker. All with one goal: rebuilding the squad from the ground up. On the other side, 10 players are set to leave. One has already been completely ruled out of the project, while another, barely featured, got no minutes and has decided it's time to go. There's also one returning loanee who will be brought back into the squad and considered in the coach's plans for the next phase. And now, as part of our transfer series, we bring you Barcelona's summer revolution. Stay with us. Welcome back, my friends, to BePart Sports. The loanees. Ansu Fati. Ansu Fati's spell at Monaco hasn't yet taken the golden boy back to his dazzling best. But the truth is, Barcelona can't afford to keep waiting. According to Sport, the club have already made the decision to move him on permanently, whether he stays in France or heads somewhere else next. The 23-year-old has become a complicated case the Catalans are trying to close, one way or another. Mundo Deportivo reports that Monaco still see him as a gamble worth taking and are preparing around 11 million euros to turn the loan into a permanent deal. A modest fee for a player who, at his peak, was considered priceless. Hector Fort. After his spell with Elche, there's been renewed talk about Barcelona's plans for him. The 19-year-old right-back went out on loan in search of regular minutes, but recent reports suggest his name is back firmly on Barcelona's desks. While rumours have linked him with being used in a potential deal, Sport claim he is actually more likely to stay at the club next season. Ander Astralaga. The goalkeeper is edging closer to an exit than ever before, with the decision seemingly already made, even before his return from Granada. His contract runs until June 30th, 2026, but Barcelona do not intend to activate the clause that would extend it by a further 2 years, despite the fact he has waited years for a real first-team chance. Iñaki Peña. He will return from loan after losing his starting place there, and Barcelona have also decided not to push ahead with a permanent move, even though it was seriously considered just a few months ago. Inside the club, the situation is pretty much settled. The goalkeeping department is crowded, and the sporting hierarchy simply don't see room for him next season. It hasn't been easy for a player who's waited so long for his chance, especially with this loan meant to be his big audition, but both the minutes and the numbers tell a different story. Marc-Andre ter Stegen. The goalkeeper is back at Barcelona, but this time the picture looks completely different to what fans have been used to over the years. The German keeper will end his loan spell with Girona next June, but his situation at the club is no longer stable after a serious injury that kept him out for a long period. With age also creeping in, the internal calculations at board and coaching level have shifted. Barcelona now want to part ways with the goalkeeper permanently, and they are set to sit down with him to decide the next step. The departures. Robert Lewandowski. The Polish striker's contract runs out at the end of the season, and according to journalist Matteo Moretto, a free exit is now looking highly likely, with movement already underway from several sides keen to sign him. Interest is not limited to Saudi Arabia or the United States. European clubs are also closely monitoring the situation, with Juventus and Milan among those keeping a close eye. Andreas Christensen. The defender has also entered a grey area at Barcelona, as contract renewal talks have become far more complicated than anyone expected. The Danish centre-back's deal is approaching its end, and according to Sport, the club have offered him an extension, but with a significant wage cut, something the player has not accepted so far. At the same time, interested clubs are beginning to circle, with Saudi Arabia emerging as one of the most likely destinations, especially given the huge financial packages on offer that are hard to ignore. Marcus Rashford. The English forward, currently on loan from Manchester United, has had mixed spells at the Catalan club, but the board believes staying is only possible under different conditions. Barcelona want to reduce the asking price for a permanent deal, currently set at 30 million euros, but United are refusing to shift on the figure. According to Sky Sports, Barcelona have instead proposed extending the loan for another season as a temporary solution to delay a final decision. The situation remains open on multiple fronts, but the final call will depend on how flexible both sides become in the coming days. Cancelo. The Catalan club want to keep the player on loan from Saudi side Al Hilal, believing his presence gives the team real balance on the right flank. But the financial reality is pointing in a different direction. Marca report that Barcelona are hoping to sign Cancelo on a free transfer by waiting for him to terminate his contract, which runs until summer 2027 with Al Hilal. On the other side, Al Hilal are showing clear hesitation about cancelling the deal, leaving the whole situation wide open. Negotiations between all parties have still not reached any kind of breakthrough, with Barcelona now under pressure to decide whether they stick to their financial stance or change approach. Araujo and Koundé. Both players are now entering a sensitive phase at Barcelona. While Sport report that Araujo does not want to leave and is fully committed to staying, Whitker claim the club no longer see him as untouchable and are open to offers, especially with Bayern Munich showing interest. A potential exit could require at least 60 million euros. Meanwhile, Cadena SER report that Koundé is closer to leaving if a strong offer arrives, with growing interest from Premier League clubs who see him as a ready-made defensive option. Marc Casado. With limited game time at Barcelona, the picture around his future is becoming clearer. Reporter Neil Sola confirms the Spanish midfielder is open to listening to offers that could open the door for a move in the near future. Although he has European interest from clubs such as Inter Milan, the idea of moving to the Saudi Pro League is gaining more momentum around him, with increased attention from Al Nassr, who are monitoring his situation closely. Rooney Bardghji. He is going through a complicated spell at Barcelona due to the difficulty in securing regular minutes, which has already opened early discussions about his future. Sport explained that the club are considering a loan move as the first option to help his development and give him more playing time, while several European clubs have already started making inquiries, Monaco, Porto and Stuttgart among them. However, Football España report that an offer worth around 10 million euros could change everything and push Barcelona towards a permanent sale rather than a loan. Alejandro Balde. The youngster has no intention of leaving Barcelona, but his future at the club is no longer completely secure behind the scenes. Cadena SER revealed that Barcelona's board will not hesitate to sell him if an offer of 50 million euros arrives, despite the fact the 22-year-old still sees himself as part of the long-term project. Interest is definitely there, with several European clubs keeping tabs on him, most notably Manchester United, who have been monitoring his situation for some time. Inside Barcelona, the thinking has shifted. Financial logic is now playing a decisive role in certain defensive decisions. Ferran Torres. His contract runs until summer 2027, and according to TV3, the club see a possible exit as a real option if no renewal is agreed, especially with wider transfer market movements influencing the decision. AS have also suggested he could be included in swap deals, with one of the main ideas involving a move for Julian Alvarez. Szczesny. According to Mundo Deportivo, there is a clause allowing either side to terminate the contract at any time, and while there's talk of him staying on, there are also internal hints suggesting he could even retire completely this summer. Incoming. Alex Ramiro. The goalkeeper is firmly on Barcelona's radar, especially with the possibility of both Szczesny and Ter Stegen leaving, which could trigger a complete overhaul in the position. According to Mundo Deportivo, the Real Sociedad goalkeeper tops the shortlist, particularly given his contract situation, which gives Barcelona a rare opportunity in the market. His release clause is set to drop from 50 to 12 million euros this summer, making the deal far more realistic compared to other names being considered. Alessandro Bastoni. The Inter defender has become Barcelona's #1 defensive target in this transfer window, but the path to the deal is anything but simple. The Nerazzurri are demanding around 70 million euros to let him go, a figure Barcelona consider too high given their other financial priorities. According to Mundo Deportivo, the 27-year-old has already reached an agreement on personal terms with the Catalan club, meaning his desire is not in doubt. Now Barcelona are waiting for something crucial: for the player to push Inter into lowering their price. Right-back situation at Barcelona. With the possible departures of Cancelo or Koundé, Mundo Deportivo report that Barcelona are closely monitoring Marco Balestra, the Cagliari talent currently on loan from Atalanta, as one of the options to strengthen the right side. He is seen as a young profile who could be developed within a long-term project rather than an immediate fix. Barcelona are moving into midfield reinforcement mode, looking to raise quality and expand their options in anticipation of possible departures in that area. Sport reveal that Moroccan midfielder Neil El Ainaoui, currently at Roma, has entered Barcelona's radar. He's viewed as a profile that combines physical strength with the ability to build play from deep. The strategy here looks double-edged, one ready-made option to contribute immediately, and another for the long-term project. Left-wing situation. A possible departure of Rashford or Rafinha opens up the left-wing position at Barcelona, making reinforcement a top priority in the market. Anthony Gordon sits at the top of the list. Newcastle value him at €85 million, with the board closely monitoring the situation. Behind him, Rafael Leao from Milan appears as a major attacking option, alongside Jeremy Doku of Manchester City, according to Weitgeeks. But the price tags make any move heavily dependent on Barcelona's financial capacity, or a delay of the idea altogether. The most realistic option right now is the return of Abdesamad Ezzalzouli after his strong spell with Betis, though his club are asking for €40 million, while Barcelona retain 20% of any future sale. Julian Alvarez. Barcelona are pushing for him as their first-choice solution to lead the attack, but Atletico Madrid's €100 million price tag turns the deal into a serious test. That internal pressure is forcing the Catalan club to open multiple attacking pathways, searching for cheaper alternatives that still guarantee top-level quality. The sporting department are closely tracking movements across the European market to decide their final direction by the end of the window, with careful attention to balancing the books. The final decision depends on whether the club can generate enough liquidity or enter into swap deals that ease the financial burden. Finally, don't forget to support us by hitting the like button, sharing the video, and let us know in the comments which club you want us to cover next and its summer revolution.